You're welcome to the studios of NTA International. I am Lami Ali. Taiwo Ozoma is a sign language interpreter, and we begin with the headlines. President Tinubu signs bill for establishment of Federal University of Environment and Technology, Ogoni. President Trump says his administration will cut down all future funding support to South Africa over new land law. Also in the news, United Nations Deputy Secretary General meets Northwest governors on economic developments. President Bola Tinubu has signed the bill for the establishment of the Federal University of Environment and Technology, Ogoni. President Tinubu says this is a demonstration of commitment to the cause of the people of Ogoni and their well-being. State House correspondent Musbah Wahab reports.
In the history of agitation for environmental remediation and sustainable development in Nigeria, Ogoni community readily comes to mind. Their clamor for action has been loud for decades. Some of the voices have even been lost along the way. But this administration would again prove to be the one that hears cries and assuage plights. In the series of efforts to resume the oil exploration, which has been on hold for decades in these oil-rich endowments, this moment comes as significant and decisive. A bill that has endured since 2019 and the National Assembly finally received the most expected attention.
Thank you, Excellency, Mr. President.
For President Bola Tinubu, this is more than just establishment of a citadel of learning.
It's more than the creation of a university. It is reaffirmation of our unwavering commitment to the people of Ogoni, the Niger Delta, and the entire nation as a whole.
The president says his administration is fully committed to the healing processes that guarantee a sense of belonging for all parts of the country.
By signing this bill into law, we are taking a decisive step towards addressing historical grievances and creating new opportunities for learning, growth, and prosperity. The university will serve as a center of excellence, equipping young Nigerians with the knowledge and skill to tackle present environmental challenges, drive clean energy solutions, and contribute to our national sustainable economic development.
The signing of this bill into law by His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, demonstrates a strong commitment to addressing long-standing concerns and fostering a sustainable development in Ogoni land and Nigeria.
The university will support our oil and gas sectors by creating middle-level and high-level jobs to the community.
For the Ogoni leaders, this is a reassuring moment that signals a new dawn for their communities.
And it is our duty to sustain this beacon of hope for future generations. I therefore call on the Ogoni people to share their swords and remain peaceful yet vigilant as the ongoing dialogue process progresses.
The hopes of the Ogoni people are clearly being renewed under this administration, and the negotiation between the federal government and the leaders of the Ogoni community continues under the coordination of a National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. And apparently, more breakthroughs are imminent in the nearest future. From the State House, Musbah Wahab, NTA News.
In another development, new federal commissioners and permanent secretaries have been inaugurated. President Bola Tinubu presided over the swearing-in ceremony in the council chambers, before commencement of today's meeting of the Federal Executive Council. The newly appointed commissioners inaugurated include 21 for the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, and 1 each for the Federal Character Commission and the National Population Commission. State House correspondent Musbat Wahab reports that 8 new permanent secretaries were equally inaugurated into the Federal Civil Service. The United States President Donald Trump announced that his administration will cut down all future funding support to South Africa over accusations that the country is treating certain classes of people badly. The decision by Trump is connected to the new land law signed by President Cyril Ramaphosa that allows land seizures without compensation in certain circumstances. President Cyril Ramaphosa rejected assertions by Donald Trump that South Africa was confiscating land and said he was ready to explain his government's land reform policy to his U.S. counterpart. The government says the bill does not allow authorities to expatriate property arbitrarily, but first seek to reach agreements with the owner. Fast-moving floodwaters rose Monday in northeastern Australia after many were forced to flee, destroying homes and sweeping away a large portion of a critical bridge. Francis Udojo reports that the devastation has greatly affected Queensland.
Australian authorities say storms have already dumped more than a meter of rain in 2 days in parts of Queensland, submerging homes, businesses and roads in muddy waters. Reports say rural communities are surrounded by the floodwaters and cut off from nearby roads as warnings in a news conference predict widespread rain and storms spreading across much of northern Queensland in the coming days. An official says emergency services carried out 11 swift water rescues overnight. Areas worst hit by the flood include Townsville, a popular coastal tourist destination that lies near the Great Barrier Reef, had been declared a black zone. Residents in the area have been advised to stay out of the zone and stay safe. The authorities told 2,100 people in the town to evacuate at the weekend, though about 10% refused, Ergon Energy said. Almost 11,000 properties remained without power across North Queensland, with no time frame given for electricity to be restored. The National Weather Agency said the heavy rain is expected to continue for 24 hours, with some locations to receive 300 millimeters before it begins to ease. Francis Udojo, NTA News.
We move to Taiwan, where thousands of worshippers have gathered for the annual Holy Pig Festival in northern Taiwan, which sees the carcasses of giant overfed swine offered to the gods. Local owners compete to display the largest pig, with the winner taking home a trophy. This year, the winning title went to a pig weighing 1,508 Taiwanese cartis, equivalent to 904.8 kilograms. The annual ritual is a cultural cornerstone for the island's Hakka community, who make up about 15% of Taiwan's population. Animal rights campaigners deplore the ritual, slamming it as inhumane. Saudi Arabia says it will implement enhanced health protocols in 2025 for Umrah pilgrims, mandating vaccinations to protect public health and safety for millions of attendees. The Saudi Civil Aviation Authority has announced that pilgrims must be vaccinated against cerebrospinal meningitis, polio, yellow fever, COVID-19, and seasonal influenza. Here is Francis Udojo with the details.
Migrants arriving from Angola, Nigeria, Brazil, and Congo will need to be vaccinated against yellow fever, COVID-19, and flu vaccinations, which are now compulsory as recommended by the World Health Organization, WHO. It is also advised that pilgrims complete vaccinations for tetanus, measles, and other diseases. The Civil Aviation Authority emphasizes that all pilgrims should carry health-related documents, including vaccination certificates, during their travels. Those with chronic health issues are encouraged to bring medical documentation and sufficient medication, ensuring it remains in its original packaging. To mitigate the risk of disease transmission, pilgrims are advised to protect themselves from mosquito-borne illnesses like Zika virus and dengue by wearing protective clothing and using insect repellents that contain DEET or icaridin. These initiatives are part of Saudi Arabia's continuous efforts to ensure the health and safety of millions who visit the holy cities of Mecca and Medina each year for pilgrimage. Meanwhile, head of the World Health Organization Tedros Ghebreyesus is urging health officials from various countries to encourage the United States to reconsider its decision of withdrawing from the UN Health Agency. Countries raised concerns during a crucial budget meeting with the World Health Organization regarding the potential impact of losing its largest donor, highlighting that U.S. financial support is crucial for many of WHO's extensive emergency operations, accounting for up to 40% of the funding for the 2024-2025 period.
Money hit will be very substantial. And if the world doesn't step up and address the money gap that is coming, then the World Health Organization will be very, very badly damaged.
The United States stands as WHO's predominant contributor, providing an estimated $988 million, which constitutes approximately 14% of the organization's total budget of $6.9 billion. Report says U.S. finances 97% of WHO's tuberculosis efforts in Europe and over 60% of TB programs in Africa, the Western Pacific, and at the agency's headquarters in Geneva. It noted that ongoing responses in regions such as the Middle East, Ukraine, and Sudan are at risk, alongside substantial losses in polio eradication and HIV initiatives. Francis Udojo, NTA News.
The 58th meeting of the Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, which took place via video conference Monday, February 3, 2025, has commended high overall conformity for OPEC and non-OPEC countries participating in the Declaration of Cooperation. Here is Lydia Sampson with the details.
The Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee reviewed the crude oil production data for the months of November and December 2024 and noted that the improved conformity further reaffirms the Declaration of Cooperation countries' shared objectives of unity and cohesion. The committee commended improved conformity of the republics of Kazakhstan and Iraq, including the additional voluntary production adjustment. The meeting also welcomed renewed pledges by the overproducing countries to achieve full conformity and to resubmit their updated compensation schedules to the OPEC Secretariat for the overproduced volumes for the period since January 2024 before the end of February 2025. The committee emphasized the critical importance of achieving full conformity and compensation and reaffirmed that they will continue to monitor adherence to the production adjustments agreed upon at the 38th OPEC and non-OPEC ministerial meeting held on December 5, 2024. The committee will also continue to monitor the additional voluntary production adjustments announced by some participating OPEC and non-OPEC countries as agreed upon in the 52nd Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee held February 2024. The members of the committee reaffirmed their commitment to the Declaration of Cooperation, which extends to the end of 2026, as decided at the 38th OPEC and non-OPEC ministerial meeting December 2024. They reaffirmed their commitment, noting that the additional voluntary production adjustments have ensured the stability of the oil market. The 59th meeting of the Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee is scheduled to hold 5th April 2025. Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The think out of the box method in mobilizing resources to meet developmental needs of the people is fast yielding fruits at subnational levels. And as the Northwest Governors Forum is taking the lead on a global platform to fully utilize the economic advantages abound in the region, with the UN as a strategic partner. Here is Abubakar Akwanga with the report.
The Northwest Governors Forum is exploring several strategies and developing insightful plans to improve the worth of the region and put its economy on the right trajectory. Some of the burning issues on the table for discussion while in a closed-door session are agricultural development of the region, as well as human capital development and other critical sectors seeking the intervention of the United Nations. 5 out of the 7 governors of the Northwest Zone and the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed, were in attendance, and the future of the economy of the region dominated discussions. The forum also pledged to look into some issues, slowing down the pace of progress and renewed commitment towards domesticating the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
All the United Nations agencies attended the meeting on which presentations were made in areas of collaboration and coordination between the Northwest states and the development partners, particularly the United Nations. After that, we had an elaborate meeting also with the African Development Bank on NAG 2.0, and also the issue of SAPZ was also discussed, the second phase and the first phase. In the first phase of the SAPZ, Kaduna and Kano State.
The forum announced the appointment of Mariam Musa Mohammed as the new Director General of the Northwest Governors Forum, with other focal persons across the 7 states of the Northwest region for proper coordination and administrative convenience. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu congratulates Nigerian music sensation Semilade Okpeni for winning the Grammys. These and more stories after the break. Welcome back. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Nigerian music sensation Semilade Okpeni, popularly known as Thames, on winning the Best African Music Performance Award at the 67th Annual Grammy Awards held in Los Angeles on Sunday night. President Tinubu, on behalf of the nation, commends the singer for her unique artistry, which has brought pride to Nigeria on the global stage for the 2nd time. The president celebrates the rise of a new generation of young and multi-talented Nigerian musical artists who have propelled Afrobeats to international prominence, projecting the country's reputation as a powerhouse of musical innovation, creativity, and cultural influence. President Tinubu congratulates other Nigerian artists nominated for this year's Grammy Award: Yemi Alade, Ashake, Wizkid, Loje, Davido, and Burna Boy. He thanks these patriots for putting Nigeria on the global map of great achievers in the music industry and for showcasing the country's creative excellence. In a bid to enhance administrative and academic activities to meet up with global competitiveness in the education sector, Ajayi Crowther University, Oyo, has unveiled its state-of-the-art Senate building in a grand inauguration ceremony. The philanthropist Oluwatoyin Okewo, who commissioned the milestone project, described the new Senate building as a cutting-edge facility designed to enhance the academic experience of students of the institution. Adebola Agbaje.
The Senate building, donated by a philanthropist, Dr. Oluwatoyin Okewo, and his wife, Abiola Okewo, to mark his 78th birthday, houses modern facilities like conference rooms, offices, and collaborative workspace, among others. The building is expected to provide a world-class environment for the institution's governance and administrative operations.
It's like they should look back and give to the public. Look at what he has done, billions of naira. That's exactly what we want people that are in power. Rather than keeping it, rather than stacking it somewhere, they should give back to the public.
Donors emphasized that the construction and donation of the Senate building to Ajayi Crowther University represent their commitment to excellence in governance and administration.
I also want to encourage our students and our younger ones that they should continue to work hard, be disciplined, and I can assure you that sky is the limit.
The event provided an opportunity to felicitate the celebrants as they attained a milestone platinum jubilee age.
A great work of philanthropy, dedication to the service of God and service of humanity. So I'm proud of my friend, Dr. Okewo, for this great achievement.
We bless him, we protect him, and we prosper him.
The inauguration of the Senate building marks an exciting new chapter in the history of Ajayi Crowther University, Oyo, as the citadel of learning continues to grow and evolve in its leading role among private universities in Nigeria and globally. From Oyo, Adebola Agbaje, NTA News.
The former Executive Secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, Usman Yusuf, has been arraigned before the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory sitting in Kuje. Usman was arraigned on a 5-count charge bordering on alleged embezzlements to the tune of more than 90 million naira. The defendants pleaded not guilty to all the counts. In view of the defendant's plea, Prosecution Counsel Francis Hussaini prayed the court for a trial date. Defense Counsel Habib S.A.N. did not oppose Hussaini's application for the trial date, but prayed the court to remand the defendants in the custody of the EFCC. Delivering the ruling after hearing both parties, Justice Chinyere Nwechionwu adjourned the matter to February 12 for hearing on the bail application and remanded the defendants in Kuje Correctional Facility. Now, the twin forces of corruption and dishonesty have remained long-time challenges to African nations, Nigeria inclusive. As part of its contribution to societal developments, the Nigerian Bar Association says it is supporting the calls for ethical renewal, leveraging on its rules of professional conduct. This was at a sensitization program for legal practitioners in Abuja. Dele Atumbi was there.
Periodically, reports emerge in the media about an indicted corrupt individual or another, or an ethical breach in Nigeria. Whether true or false, legal practitioners are sometimes alleged to be complicit in these deals, which some senior lawyers say could be due to lawyers' unfamiliarity with their duties to the society under the rules of professional conduct for legal practitioners, which now incorporate anti-money laundering guidelines.
We live here with a better commitment, not only to adhere to the highest standards of professional conduct, but also to deploy our knowledge to make for a better society, where transactions coming out of Nigeria will not be viewed with suspicion, where lawyers will not be seen as aiders or abettors or participants in money laundering.
Issues such as misrepresentation of facts, these unethical practices pose a significant threat to the legal system and must be addressed before they undermine its foundation.
Next month, Nigeria will be due for a review of its compliance with the anti-corruption ethics in order to exit the global grey list of compromised countries.
The NBA should be in the lead of ensuring that the fight against money laundering is in force. Doing that is ensuring that every lawyer understands the rules of their professional conduct.
Although the NBA Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee oversees the rules of professional conduct, legal practitioners are calling for public support in rejecting corruption in the society. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Up next is Tuesday's weather prospects for Nigerian cities and other parts of the world. And this is where we end the news. We thank you for watching. I'm Lami Ali. Taiwo Ozoma has been